Well, we thought you'd just like to see a little bit of a replay there at end, and why the hell not? At the end of the day, we're moving in to possibly the third and final series of the evening. The nice music has come in once again, and we always appreciate it from the guys in the back. We hope so far you've all enjoyed yourself. Of course, this was day number 1 of the European HCS Pro League. My name is Sims, and once again, joining me on the table is none other than Mr. Gaskin and Mr. Wonderboy. Gentlemen, been interesting evening so far. 2-3-0 whitewashes. How y'all feeling?
Yep, sums it up.
Words.
Sums
more
it up.
noises.
More noises. Please make more noises.
Let's hope this game can be a 3-2 and we can see Fathom.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what we're hoping for? Game number 5?
Well, yeah, statistically, this matchup is going to be a very good one. We'll talk about it map by map. But Realest versus Dinosaurs is most certainly the closest game on paper we've seen. I mean, this is the the 5th qualified team and the 6th qualified team. So the last 2 teams to qualify for the Pro League. On paper, this should be a very close affair. On the other hand, in game, it's not always played on paper. So we'll see.
I feel like the team name of Dinosaurs cheats me a little bit because Cristola is not a dinosaur.
However, he is a bit of a beast.
However, he is incredible. I mean, they call him the new Jimbo. I mean, Jimbo just got 3-0'd, so if you want to be the new Jimbo, fair enough. But
I don't want to be the new Jimbo.
He's not going to be feeling great right now.
I want to be the new Jimbo.
Love the Jimbo. I mean,
of course you want to be the new Jimbo.
Yeah, that's
because
what
I'm currently
top 24.
Top 24 trash. Never done anything on land. But game number 3, of course, we will see, as Harry said, teams 5 and 6 going at it. Of course, we only said team 5 and 6 because that's the way they actually qualified. One team will be moving into 3rd place tonight after these statistics. But again, we do have more matches tomorrow, so we've no idea after this week who will end up where. Certainly Infused so far, and of course the Online Warriors looking extremely dominant in their games. Me personally, that's a matchup I'm looking forward to seeing on stream eventually, because they could, if they've been practiced, fair enough, they've been getting beaten. You mentioned how many times they've been beat against them before, but I think they could definitely put up a better fight than, unfortunately, what we saw from X-Men. Yeah,
it wasn't very close versus the X-Men, and I would like to see the X-Men be more open to scrimming the Online Warriors, because they are the best practice right now. Whether or not they're Online Warriors, as their name suggests, it doesn't matter. They are the team that just absolutely slapped you around. There's no question about it. You need to play them, improve, because they're likely the team you're going to see in the finals. That's just how it is.
The argument probably was we don't want to play them because we're playing them week 1. We don't want to give away our strategies, but at the same time, by playing them, you could have learnt their strategies. So I mean, there's arguments for both, but definitely they'll know that they need to practice against them, and I think now they've got that first game out of the way, they'll probably be like, yeah, okay, look, we'll play these guys.
What also could be a positive is that may be a bit of a kick up the backside for X-Men. Says, you know what, boys, not only we get beat, we got smacked about. We really need to pick our stuff together here and crack on and look at the cracks in the wall. Let's seal them up. Let's seal the deal. At the end of the day, we're supposed to be the European Gold Squad, and we know these guys are at the end of the day because we know what they've seen done in previous. But you know what? Enough about that. It's all about this. We have got the Realest Tins taking on the Dinosaurs. This is game number 1 in this first best of 5, and what will be the last best of 5 tonight in our 3rd game on stream.
It's just we get a point of view here where someone who's not going straight for the overshield, instead Cristola wants to push round to this upper lane, just try and get some control for his team. I'm not sure where the overshield went. It probably got burnt. That seems to happen a lot at the start of this map. Speed, though, with the control of the rockets.
And these can do some serious damage now, looking to take control of this top middle section, which is quite important on a map like this. We've seen the flag caps coming from. He will pre-fire as somebody just comes speeding out into the hands of Speed. No pun intended. Flames is going to challenge, though. He knows he's weak and he's down inside the hut. Speed to go and try and pull this flag. Just wait. Oh, if he'd have waited just a second too much, I thought he'd paused long enough to get his shields back. Unfortunately not. Bit of a desperate pull from Ramirez as he throws that out. But you know what? He's got some help. That was incredible teamwork there. I thought he was going to die down, but one of his teammates came along the rail and just kind of cleaned the enemy up.
I think this is a strategy that the Realest Tins have worked on. It's like, hey, you know what? Let's get the flag out of their base and get it down low, because now we just need to slay out while they're looking at that flag. We can just slay them, and now we can run this flag. Check it out. Ramirez actually has it in the base. When these two teams last faced in a scrim, it was Realest Tins who came out on top, so keep an eye on that for the rest of this game. Realest Tins did win this game type last in this matchup.
Both the Online Warriors and the X-Men went for the similar strategy, just kind of pull it, get it bottom mid, just play the scrappy game, except that you're probably going to win the Slayer fights. However, Infused had that nice, calm approach where they were very tactical about their pushes, so it is really interesting to see how these pro leagues are developing on this new map.
But once again, the shotgun proving dominant. Flames had it a minute ago. He managed to get the initial stop. He's still got the shotgun in his back pocket, and he's just grabbed himself a stealth cap. Nobody's even touched him picking that one up. The shotgun on this map so far proving not only a worthy opponent, but a definite dominant weapon.
I mean, there's definitely the tools on this map to be able to kind of flank behind, go unseen, and just grab a flag when the opposition team isn't really expecting it. Or if you want to go for a counter cap, I think counter capping is going to be huge on this map, like it is on a lot of the other maps, as we see the overshield being picked up. Perfect timing there from Buck 20.
Yeah, overshield from Buck 20. I was going to say how well drilled Dinosaurs are. They're actually one of the most practiced teams in the Pro League versus other Pro League teams. They have 50 games total played versus other Pro League teams, so not at all surprised to see them actually set up perfectly for that overshield. Not only did they get the overshield, they got the rockets before that as well, so a great setup there from the Dinosaurs.
It was perfect timing. Buck 20 decided to thrust down. You saw him, he thrusted out of the way, down the lift on the high side, and as he landed, one player was there, he took him out, picked up the overshield, and pretty much perfectly timed it to perfection. As we see Speed trying to desperate the flag. Now they've got themselves in this kind of slain position though. Two players dogpile the flag, and 57's there just to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, right, just threw that flag out just to try and gain as much time for his team, but they were just all pushing in one by one, just trying to delay the inevitable, really. And it just allows Dinosaurs to gain even more map control because they're allowed to push as a unit after they get those kills.
I was just about to say how much as well the DMR acts on this map as the anchor weapon just to push people out. As soon as I begin to say that, we see the wingman come into play now for 57, because you can literally just sit there and drill people across the map. You can scope in with it. The recon, as Harry pointed out earlier on, it's not as strong and it's not as long distance as the previous DMR scope, but still, as a weapon itself, it's really good just to hammer the enemy on your base and push them back.
Interesting that 57 decided to put shots across. I think maybe he was scared he was seen. I don't think he was seen, and he possibly could have waited a few seconds and then pulled a flag from the direction he just came, and that would have automatically brought the Realest tins back toward him.
Rockets in the next 10 seconds, lads, so watch for the teams to fight for the rockets first and then drop down low for the overshield, because it's coming up very, very soon, immediately after these rockets.
And as we see, Lonnie just picks up a perfect. He's on a 3-kill streak now, possibly even a 4. Someone's behind him. Splinter Nade goes down. Unfortunately, doesn't find his target. Will find another one off guard, though. They will trade. Cristola's at the bottom. Speed coming in with the rockets. Opts to not actually waste one. Could be. It was almost. It was great what he was doing. He didn't want to waste it. It does waste one in the end, unfortunately. As it hits the wall, player gets away with his life, but still 3 rockets in the barrel.
Yeah, and it does look like a flag capture did happen as well whilst all that drama was happening, which is what we've seen in the past couple of games on Stasis, that when this overshield and when these rockets do come up, teams are more than happy to push into the flag and use it as a distraction to try and gain some control back on the game.
Just went a little bit too early. He does have the rockets. He's still not making use of them. He's trying to save them. Every time he goes to save, he just holds off, and then when he fires them, does he miss it, finally putting one back as they now move into this top middle section to try and grab themselves some control. I'm going to see on his screen Riots. He's dealing with one player, so the grenade comes in. They will tick down Flames, and now he's on the high side with the rockets in hand, killing spree and a long-range missile just to go for Boo.
I don't know if it was in both games before, but at least one of them, it was 2-0, and then the team sacrificed rockets and overshield to get a flag capture. It looks like that's happened again with the Realest tins, but you just sacrifice those power weapons and that power-up that you lose that map control, and it just seems to favour the other team. A lot of 3-1s might happen in this situation.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate kind of what he did though then? He just dropped the flag, picked up the SMG from the SMG corner, got the metal hard target, and he was just a royal pain in the backside. This has now given his teammates the ability to run that flag because he kept them back so long. They've that stop managed them to run it all that way, and they got a couple of slays. Unfortunately, we're actually going to see them answer back though. Dinosaurs coming back with a very, very off the spawn aggressive slay, and now Cristola's back into the blue base behind enemy lines.
It kind of looks like teams are kind of accepting and saying, look, we're going to run around as a 3 and we're going to use one player as a flanker. It's something that we saw a lot in Halo 3, less of in Halo 5, but this is a perfect map to kind of utilize that power player, that player that's happy to kind of run around on their own, a player who's happy to slay alone and has the ability to do so. So it is great to see how these teams are developing on this map.
Well, now we're in a dangerous position because Cristola's running it down the high side, and we've got rockets up on the low side, just slaying them. Ramirez is behind him. Ramirez and Max, that's going to be Riots, the deadly duo. This is all on them to get that return. Buck 20 falls down. That's going to be a cracking cap as Riot picks up a triple, and now they can try and get the return cap.
Massive triple kill as well, and that's the difference from running with this upper side. You are open. It does mean that these teams can kind of push back, and then they can go for a counter cap. You've definitely got a lot more cover if you can pull the flag. Bottom middle, and it does look like they may be able to get a second cap here, as we saw the Ninja attempt from Buck57, but Lunny was able to survive, and that is 2-2 now. Game on.
And that was all Riot's. The triple kill came in, the flag came out, but you notice what he did. He pushed straight through the top mid, across the high side, moved down to the low, and stopped them pushing on his flag, and just allowed them to put it into the base. And here comes Lunny. They were down 2 in the series. They're now moving back into it. Aggressive plays from these guys. He's got support on the high side. There's somebody on the top middle section taken down. He's got support in his base waiting for him at the plat. The other guy's moved in. He's going to throw that in. He's going to have a teammate waiting there just to bag that one. He says, you know what, mate, it's fine. You've run this all the way, Sunshine. You come and put this in yourself. As we see Realest Tins come back from being down to win the game 3 caps to 2.
Yeah, they were 2-0 down in the game and come back to win 3-2. What a performance. 17 kills from Riots. On the other side, 57, only 7 kills. Certainly not the performance we're used to seeing out of him, but wow, just check out the slaying power on the Realist Tins side. 3-2 to win that game.
BDR.
Big Daddy Riots.
That triple kill, it just changed the game. They not only stopped that cap, but then they got 2 quick flag captures afterwards. They did sacrifice Rockets and Overshield for their first cap, but they still came back from that as well. That shows real slaying power from that team.
I like the fact he didn't get kind of over-aggressive and quite greedy. I know he got the triple, and sometimes in people's minds it's, alright, we want the overkill, we want more kills. Instead, he looked at his teammate. His teammate was running on the high side with the flag, so he span himself around, went through top mid, and you instantly know if they're going to be on the high side, they're going to spawn on the low. And where would you go? Off of the low spawn, you just bomb towards the base because you know where the flag's going to be. So what did he do? He jumped across to the low side. Not only did he stop one player, fair enough, he went down, but he got 2 kills out the back of it.
This was actually the play here from Flames. He still had the shotgun from when he returned his own flag, and then he actually ran the flag across the map and scored it himself. Yes, he does go down here, I do believe, but that was the flag cap from Flames. So not only he was pretty much going, what do they call it in basketball, coast to coast, I'm pretty sure, getting a rebound and then dunking it on the other end. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what Flames just did.
I didn't see much Hydra come into action throughout that game, actually. The shotgun playing a key part, however. It does look like players are more than happy to push down that shotgun alley, grab the shotgun, and then flank around behind.
We didn't actually get the triple kill, or we just saw it at the end there.
Just about,
it creeps in as we see BDR back on top. I believe it was 17 kills, was it? 17 kills in the end for Riot. So back in the driver's seat. Obviously, this is the kind of level of slaying power we expect to see from Riot. An age-old veteran and multiple event winner. Incredible stuff.
We spoke about this series was going to be close. Last time these two teams scrimmed, excuse me, that's really hard to say, by the way. You ever tried saying that? It was actually 8-7 in favour of the Dinosaurs, but all these game types were played. The next 2 game types actually went in favour of the Realest Tins, so Dinosaurs effectively need to break the Realest Tins serve unless they want to get 3-0'd pretty much.
And worth noting, for those of you who haven't followed the scene as much, Dinosaurs and Realest Tins, 2 members from each team, they were teaming with each other in the second to last qualifier. They then broke up for the last chance qualifier, and now we see them on different teams facing up against each other, so a little bit of a rivalry here.
Yeah, the Invitational qualifier, they didn't actually make it in. We saw one team make it off, being, of course, two teams being the first 2 we saw this morning, X-Men and Online Warriors. These teams kind of did split up and had to run the open series for everyone pretty much in those single elimination brackets.
Interesting note, sorry Sims to just cut you off there. I was just reading on halo5arena.com just the rematch stats. I was just reading the scoreboard. They had the same amount of assists, the 2 teams, 31 each. But Realest Tins has 60 kills. Dinosaurs only had 48, so same amount of assists, but a lot more kills on the Realest Tins side. So that individual slaying power really shining through for the Realest Tins.
And just a big shout out to all the community websites out there, and of course all the Twitters, all the stat collectors, HCS stats. I've got plenty of them here. HCS stats, Fantasy HCS, HCS Power Rankings, Halo Esportspedia. There are so many websites. Well, we got Halo Waypoint, Team Beyond forums, Reddit Halo, and then of course the Halo stat tracking. We've got a few when we looked at them today. You looking at Halo 5 Arena?
Halo5arena.com has been my best friend pretty much
so far.
Yeah, they've been helping me out, catching up on all the scrims that I miss on streams and stuff. So shout out to Halo 5 Arena. I love you guys.
All you guys
saved
out
my
there
life.
doing all this work for us to make our life easy, and thank you so much to all the stat collectors as well. The amount of times I see scrim results on Team Beyond because I do not live the NA lifestyle and I'm not staying up till 5 AM in the morning to watch the scrims. A shout out to you guys, the real MVPs. Game number 2 is just about to get underway as the Eye in the Sky does become live.
I do accept donations for shout-outs on the Pro League stream, by the way. You can find my business email on my Twitter bio.
Massive.
Clearly both of these have been paid. I haven't done a shout out to anyone yet.
Massive sellout. What a sellout.
Hey,
We're getting sellout in his ears. And you
Gotta
know
make
what, I
money
totally
somehow,
accept
Sims.
it.
You know how it is. Mr. Verified, come on.
Dinosaurs versus Realest Tins. I'm going to ignore that one. Will be your game number 2, guys, coming up on stream. Looking forward to this one after a very close game number 1 down.
Yeah, and it just kind of these Dinosaur squad, like Harry said, they're very well practiced. They're the most practiced against Pro League teams. They know exactly what to expect. Going into Slayer Truth, this is going to be a juicy matchup, and like we said, the rivalry from some of these experienced players is really going to rub off.
Last time these two teams met on this game type, the Realest Tins came out 50-47, so Dinosaurs effectively have to break the serve of the Realest Tins here. And it's a great start as they go 3-0 up, and 57 gets the camo.
Book 57 will try and do the dipsy daisy around Casey at the bottom section on the P1, but he will not get away with his life. Burns out the camo. Cristola locking down P2. Grenade goes in. No hit marker is going to come off of that one as we see Riots just throwing some more grenades in, trying to just feel anybody out as up in that P2 section. Speed running up though for his support as 2 players will go down on the hands of, it's going to be Dinosaurs will take out. That was 2 kills coming in back to back as they now take the lead 5-6-1. Starting very, very good start from these guys. I've got to say, the fuel rod in hand from Cristola, locking down this P section. This is kind of reminiscent, but someone comes flying through and he will just suicide bomb him to take him down.
Really important kill there from Lunny to take down because he had fuel rod and he had the battle rifle. They had sword as well, and they could have just ran away with the game if they started to do exactly what the Online Warriors did, what Infused did. It was strange to see how the fuel rod was picked up so early by the Dinosaurs as well, whereas in the game early with Infused, it wasn't even picked up till maybe 15 kills in.
I mean, I don't know if that was intentional, but that was a complete dive bomb. He knew he was inside with the fuel rod, so he just suicided at him. He just ran at him, took the shot, but he suppose he did. I mean, if he didn't do that on purpose, then fair play, but at least he kind of broke the setup.
I'm very surprised what we're seeing here from Lunny. Look at what he's got in his back pocket in the top right-hand corner. He's got the sword. I'm very surprised he's choosing to anchor this window right now. I'd like to see him push out, maybe put that sword to use, but he's helping his team out, putting down some good shots, so I can't really complain.
I think he's possibly waiting for a teammate to spawn so he can push out with someone rather than alone. He knows that there are players on that pink side and he's going to be reluctant because he doesn't want to give away that sword, and that's kind of the thing. As he now does see Ramirez spawn, so he is going to push with him and try and give him support. This is what I like from players, just having that discipline to wait despite having such a power weapon.
I'm still trying to figure out whether that was an on-purpose suicide or not, just to try and get that guy out of the P side. It works no matter what, as we will see. Now, you mentioned it, Harry. Lunny will move up into this power play position with the sword. One player jumps up half shield, turns around, sword comes out, but unfortunately not quick enough. As just as soon as he pushes outside of the base, he does go down just as quick, and so does Ramirez as well. Now that fuel rod will lay down for anybody who wants to pick it up. Buck 20 just realizes that the camo's there. Unfortunately picks up a different weapon, but you know what says at 37, that's going to go in my back pocket.
And what we just saw there with Ramirez with the fuel rod top mid, that's what can happen when you pick up that fuel rod, and that is why some players are reluctant to go for it, because you are so open. Yes, okay, you've got those shields, as we now see Lunny picking up the fuel rod, but he will get taken down as well. Some players just don't get to see the light of day with this fuel rod cannon. I mean, personally, when I have the fuel rod cannon, I just can't see the light of day with it anyway because I'm terrible, but I mean, it's a different matter when you're just getting singled out like that.
Buck 20 with some awesome players, being very, very passive, just being very slow and looking for where these guys are. He's going to worm his way up, down on the carbine side. 2 players there, another half shield each, so the grenades are going to go in, try and grab some hit markers. Misses the first one, the second one will go across, but no hit markers whatsoever from them. Now moving his way down into carbine 1, looking for anybody else who wants to creep. That's going to be Lunny. He goes down, will turn around as I believe that player just dropped down. Scopes across, Ramirez is up on P3, but as Riots comes across with the carbine, 2 versus 1, he drops down just as quickly.
And are we going to see another steak dinner, our third of the day on this map? It does seem like when you get control of those power weapons, when you get control of both P and car side, it is very difficult for the opposition to be able to push out. We'll see what the response is from the Realest Tins, but at the moment, they just can't keep up with the Dinosaurs, and this is one of the reasons why the battle rifle, just being able to hold battle rifle in this P side is absolutely incredible. You just have so much map control.
I'm glad you pointed that one out, Dan, because honestly, every time we've been to one of the Buck brothers so far, this is the only weapon they've had in their hands. And when you look at the kill feed as well, Flames has the carbine, so they've pretty much got all the long-range cannons locked down and in their hands at the back pocket, so they can just sit here, pin them into a base, and just rack up the slaying power.
It just seems like a great wall at the moment, as Buck 57 will go for the triple, but he is taken down, not able to get kills with the fuel rod. They just set themselves up. They sit in P2, they sit at carbine, they have someone top mid, maybe a fourth person roaming, and they just let them come at them. They said, look, you come at us, you've only got pistols, we've got battle rifles and carbines, we're going to win that battle every day of the week.
May have been a little bit more beneficial for him to actually shoot it at the floor. Obviously, with that P side, you do have some markings on the wall, so, you know, and the holographs, it does go back a little bit. He hit the back wall, and the splash damage just was not enough, so he did fall before he could grab that triple. 34-23. Slowly but surely, they're starting to creep up a little bit, but I've got to be honest, the damage has been done. That is a large deficit to come back on.
It definitely is. And I mean, just touching on the fuel rod, obviously, it's a new addition to this map, and we're not all used to using it. I mean, predominantly you saw it in the campaign. Okay, we had it on Regret, but it's not something that every player is used to using. It's definitely a very different weapon. It's not like the rocket launcher.
I have to completely agree there. There are some players like myself who just simply, and I see it time and time again, will miss and not get kills with it, and then all of a sudden you get a player like Kimbo, for instance, who you will see will never miss a single shot. It's certainly a weapon, when put in the right hands, can do some disgusting amounts of damage. 40-24. The stake is looking real though, Dan, I have to say.
It's gonna be a close one. I mean, at the moment they've just got this map control, and the Realest Tins, they just they're waiting, and they don't really know how to push out. As we see Andy pushing out, Andy being Ramirez, sorry, just pushing out alone and just being a target for 57 and his battle rifle. He's got the sword in the back pocket as well, just in case he needs it. And yeah, I don't really see a comeback for the Realest Tins right now.
Honestly, I think the damage has been done. They've finally brought one back and made it 25, but they've got 6 kills in the process. They do answer back with another one to make it 26. Up comes 57, will scope in with a sword to take his face clean off. Only 5 more kills now to plant to seal the deal for the win, and 6 minutes to do it in.
Yeah, just 5 kills left, and basically, if you are this Realest Tins now, you just need to try and slow the game down as much as possible. Try and get that top mid control that these guys have had, the Dinosaurs have had the whole game, but with only 4 kills to play with, it just means that all the Dinosaurs have to do is trade 1 for 1 over the next course of the couple of minutes.
I think when we look back, this without question has been the rifle control. All they've done is control the BRs and the carbine every single time. It went from about 20 to 40 kills. We saw the BR in the hands of either of the Bucks, and then we saw the carbine in either Cristola or Flames' hand. They kept us trading the weapons again with this buddy system, working in pairs and just working one side for each. 1 more kill to seal the deal. Cristola's going to push in, and you see it from Buck 20 on the kill feed there, 50-33. It's not a stick, but damn, it's still a damn good lead.
It just seems like this map can really snowball out of control if you do get those battle rifle.
12 assists from Flames, 6 deaths out of 57, and 15 from the new Jimbo, Cristola. What a performance there out of Dinosaurs. They bounce back in the series here, Sims. On the other side, Speed, disappointing performance from him. Only 4 assists and 4 kills to boot. Lunny was trying to make some things happen. I saw a few perfects out of him that game, but unfortunately was not enough. And we're all tied up in the series, Sims, 1-1.
We're seeing a game 4.
Yeah,
at least
buddy.
It's not going to be a 3-0. You can rest in peace, Dan. Don't worry.
Good job.
Well done, my friend. You finally called it out. So we are going to be seeing a game 4 without question, as all of a sudden the Dinosaurs answer back with a win. Flames coming in with that large amount of assists, definitely looking at his carbine work, just pinging people across the map, and we've seen it time and time again. That weapon is disgusting on truth. And again, that's exactly what they did. They just controlled both rifles. We saw it time and time again. There wasn't many other weapons used. Occasionally saw the fuel rod coming in, but dominating performance from them, dominating performance from the rifles.
Completely agree. I think Dan touched about top middle control. I think it was more about the tower control from both teams. I saw Flames in the kill feed a lot with the carbine. He had a lot of carbine control. He was getting kills with the rifles. But what 57 and the Bucks especially were doing, controlling the battle rifle. Lunny on your screen here did have the sword. This was where he finally pushed up. He did assist his teammate, but he got taken down straight away. And check it out, 57, this is what I was going to touch on. He was controlling the tower so well. He was just putting shots down. And yes, if he was low in a fight, he could just back off to the tower and he was just controlling the sword for most of the game as well. It was just a great tower control here out of the Buck brothers, and that's why they won game number 2.
They often just had this wall top mid, one guy top P, one guy top car, one guy top mid, and they just sat there and they were just turning from spawn to spawn whilst the fourth player was just kind of roaming around and calling out where they were pushing from.
Perfect teamwork. We've seen it every single time that we look at these Truth games, and kind of as it's evolved, many teams will be looking back at these games and saying, alright guys, where did we mess up, really what went wrong? And it is, when we look at that, that is genuinely a different meta to what we're used to playing.
It's interesting that you say that, Sims, because the last time these two teams scrimmed each other, it was actually Realest Tins who won the game. So Dinosaurs clearly making the appropriate adjustments, and they take game number 2.
Flames has been there with his clipboard.
Yeah.
Dan the man's got his
studying film.
He's got his Epsilon pen and paper out.
There is no way to correctly play these games yet. Because the settings are so new, everyone is still learning. We speak and we touch on meta, and I know a few players, they don't really like talking about it, but it is definitely developing. It definitely has changed with some of these power weapon placements and some of the camo being moved on some maps. It's definitely very new for a lot of these teams, and they'll still be learning as we progress through the Pro League.
In the land of the lack of automatics, the man with the rifle stands. I think it's something like that, stands ahead of everybody else, because at the moment it really is becoming, we mentioned how we not necessarily haven't had these one-on-ones, but you've seen a lot more one-on-one battles, and you've seen a lot more people now who are damn good at scoping in and using their aim with the Magnum. People with a damn good shot. Now we're not seeing all these automatic, or so much of the automatics are going to be really stepping it up and just pinging people across the map all the time.
The trouble is we're seeing a lot of 1v1s, but a lot of them are being carbine versus pistol and battle rifle versus pistol, and you've got to feel bad for the guy who only has a pistol in his hand. I mean, you can try running with your assault rifle, but even that's not going to work from distance.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, Truth has now become about controlling the rifles, which is great, because you want that superior weaponry when you're fighting in one-on-one battles against pistols, because 95% of the time, if you're a similar skill and you have that upgraded weaponry, you're going to win that fight.
And again, it's where they spawn as well. You look at where the rifles spawn, you have to check control of a tower. But what do you want to do? Do you want to control one tower or possibly give up the camo? Do you want to control the other tower and possibly give up the sword? And then you throw a fuel rod and a Hydra in the mix and everything else. It's quite a lot of stuff to look at.
And I think we might see that Hydra come into play eventually as a way of breaking setups, perhaps. It is very difficult to get bottom mid if they do have control of those towers, but they've got to look at their options. Teams will definitely be looking at trying to break this setup, because it's something they're going to have to sort out, because it's going to be very prominent in this meta.
We're going to start this game off with Buck 57, 13 kills and 9 deaths in the last game. Last time these two teams met on this game type, it was a close one, 100 to 88 in favour of the Realest Tins, so wouldn't be surprised to see this one go the distance.
Alright then guys, let's see how this one works. Buff 57 does move to the left hand side, but two people straight up dived towards that nest section. Ramirez giving support to his teammate Riots, who's going to try and collect the nest. However, he does get punished with a big fat railgun from Cristola and a double kill as well to boot, doing wonderful works with the Batchford rifle, I've got to say.
Really impressed with how Cristola is just managing playing against such top players. I mean, he's not really known for being a top player himself, but he's just been introduced to this team. They've taken him under their wing, and he is performing absolutely fantastically. I believe Buck 20 got away with the camo earlier, which would have been huge. It allows you to kind of sneak into the nest, and we have touched on it several times. The nest is where you want to be and what you want to get.
I like where he is now, just hanging around the connector section, just kind of blocking off all angles. He's going to hit that on the floor. In fact, the guy comes from behind the BR corner. Now they're going to turn this 2-cap into a triple cap, and as we mentioned before, the bleed is starting. The pressure is on. They're going to answer back and take back the basement section, but they really need to get a hold of that nest. If they let that nest go, things are going to get tricky very, very fast. The clock is ticking, the time's ticking away, and all of a sudden, finally, they've dealt with Cristola. Now can they deal with some of the others and put some points back on the board with the collection of the nest?
Buck 20 had a decision there. He was above basement as the Tins were taking basement, and he decided not to drop in to try and delay it, to try and let his teammates come. He said, look, I just want to keep map control here. I don't want to die and make it a 4v3 situation, which usually I would argue you want to drop in and you want to delay that, but I like the decision. I like that he wanted to keep map control for his team.
As the Tins were taking basement, what a time to be alive to be able to say that in European Halo. Coming in now with the Spartan charge from Lonnie. He'll take down one, jump into the BR base to reclaim that as he moves up onto the plat, looking over at Nest though, because someone's there. Great place to be in, but unfortunately he gets answered back and he'll get his face taken down out of the nerd. Now, Flames moving down the white hole, just taking basement. I love this area, but unfortunately that railgun does some damage on this map. You need to learn to control it. Ramirez has it in his hands. We know this is a team captain, a team player who knows how to utilize these power weapons to the best of their ability.
I just think it's crazy how by such a small change of moving the stronghold has made this game type so much better and so much more fast-paced and hectic.
I absolutely love this position Ramirez is in at the moment. Where he is in that white hole corner, yes, he goes down, but he can see the BR base, he can see the nest, and he can see the basement. So it's the perfect anchor position, and not a lot of teams in Europe at the moment have cottoned onto that position. So I love the positioning there from Ramirez, but unfortunately, he does go down.
And not only the position of where it is, but when you put a railgun there, you kind of just, this turret that's just like an auto turret. Okay, they're taking basement, I'll turn here, bang, look, they're taking nest, bang. And you can just clean them up and then let your teammates work around you. Lunny's going to throw some nades over to the nest area to try and take down this one guy. Finally they do. Speed comes in and clutches one up as we see basement about to be taken. He's not fast enough though. He will clean up that secondary kill. Someone comes flying through the air, but I think we could see this reversal back and possibly put some more points back in the bank.
And it just seems very back and forth. They're all just running around, getting to each stronghold, and at the same time they're trying to contest this white walkway. This white hall is very important. As you said, you can see every single stronghold. So at this middle point in the game when there's no real control, you just have this massive battle in the walkway, and whoever does eventually get full control of that will probably win the game.
Oh, Lunny with the reversal. I knew he were going to do that. There's the teabag and the beatdown. He turns it around, takes him out.
That's the second time that's happened this game. Lunny on buck 20, I'm pretty sure. It might have been 57 he reversed earlier, but that's the second time this game. So not at all surprised Lunny let him know. And 3 times in a row.
Lunny,
take
rest
a bow.
in peace, buck 20 at the moment. He's going to be tilting off the face of the planet. And there you have it. The stronghold capture spree comes into effect as well as he bags himself the medal.
And sometimes that is enough to get you back into a game. Just having one player that can win those individual battles, that can drop the teabags, that can get in your opponent's head. And that's exactly what Lunny's doing now. He is really the driving force behind this Tin squad because he is hitting every single shot right now.
One thing I'll always remember Ramirez saying to me from back at the EMEA finals, if you tell the Bucks that they're bad, they tilt off the face of the planet. And honestly, I can see this happening now. You mentioned it earlier, Harry. He's gone up against him 3 times. He's perfected him once. He's reversaled him twice. And he's teabagged him about 4 times for Boo. Can we see the comeback? It's looking rather real. They're only 5 points behind. They've got 2 caps. They want to try and push this third one, though, as we now see Ramirez, more importantly, out on the wing. Cristola comes in. This will be a huge kill if he does it. Very, very close. What a cracking play from Cristola.
I can understand Lunny was trying to support his teammate there. I would have liked maybe a more passive approach, maybe flank round to BR base, just be a nuisance with that camouflage. But, you know, I'm not going to argue with one of the best players in Europe right now. Absolutely fantastic from him.
I think how close this game is really just goes to show how close these 2 teams are. I mean, check it out. It's only 6 points. We saw it in the 2 previous games, you know, the Infuse versus Pulse and as well as the X-Men versus Warriors game. This game type is very one-sided, whereas in this game, hey, there's no total control for either side. They're just going back and forth between the 3 strongholds. So very interesting game, and just as I said, we're about to see total control.
And look at that. They just kind of lined up the, I want to say like landmines. They just 2 of the teammates pushed into the nest. They threw all the grenades down at the end of the white hall. 1 player walked in. We saw the double kill come up, and now the triple cap is in effect. That is a perfect play. That's how you play. But I have to know they're going to be spawning at the carbine, so they're going to take that back, that basement section.
Yeah, 57 was just kind of sat there, engine 2, and just waiting to see if anyone was going to spawn there at the bottom rail. But we did see Lunny take down 20, drop another teabag, and now he's just managed to get a kill on 57 as well. Regardless of how well Lunny is playing at the moment, Dinosaurs are still winning this game.
Lunny just doesn't have any fear for any of the Bucks at the moment. I mean, he's just saying, you know what, oh, there's a Buck, oh, that's an easy kill, no problem. I mean, he's just doing it every time.
But I've got to say, we saw all of Realest Tins come off the spawn at the back rail and the carbine section. They all dove, you know, straight dive bombed into the basement section. They didn't capture it. We saw 2 players from behind both Bucks kind of went behind them and did the entire team, and now we're still on this triple cap. Riot's just gets away with his life, hiding around the corner, but honestly, I think this is all we need. We need a bit more defense. They're not going to get that nest in time. We got Cristola in a perfect position here with the railgun. Does miss it at the end. Can you survive? You bounce off. I've no idea how. You managed to do it, and there we have the victory. 2-1. This is getting rather fun.
And that's why it is so important to go for that tri-cap, because it means off-spawn the other team really has to desperate one of those strongholds, and it means you can punish them if you are in position to do so.
18 kills from Buck, 57 as well as 7 captures, so great play from him. On the other side, we saw Lunny go great individual performance, most captures for his team as well as the most kills kills, but unfortunately could not get it done. And Dinosaurs, they go up 2-1 in the series. They take the Red Strongholds 100-44.
57, 7 captures and 18 kills. That's going huge for your team. And sometimes we do say, with as much respect as I have for Will and much respect as I have for 57, being the player that he is, sometimes he's the one that can kind of make or break the team. When 57 goes off like that, they win.
Yeah, and here's the thing, in game number 1, which they lost, he had a really poor performance. The previous game, the Truth Slayer, he was controlling the pink tower, and he had most kills and least deaths. And then that game, he was just going off. So. And
I think Lunny's going to be saying to his team, guys, I just absolutely donged all over both of the Bucks. What were you guys doing? How did we still lose? He'll be feeling confident going into this next game. His shot is on fire, but the Dinosaurs will take this lead. And, I mean, I'm really excited to see Fathom CTF. Really, not just because we've had so many 3-0 sweeps, but because of the changes that they've introduced, and I will touch on them later after we do finish these replays, as we see Lunny now just using this camouflage just to support his teammate. But at this point, I kind of would have liked him to use that camouflage and push behind rather than get aggressive.
Just to know, that kill there, if he wouldn't have actually got that kill, that could have been extremely dangerous, because they would have then got the scatter shot and things could have got quite dangerous.
Shout out to Halo 5 Arena again. Lunny versus Buck 20. You want to guess the score?
Go on.
9-0 in favour of Lunny.
On this.
Lunny outdueled Buck 20 9 times. Buck 20 did not kill Lunny once. So that's why all the teabags were happening.
Shrek'd.
Absolutely Shrek'd.
Well, as you can see on there, we're now, excuse me, on the TBDs there. We will bring the logos up in just seconds as we come back to ourselves there. But it's going to get interesting. Fathom CTF, this is the first time that we've actually seen this now make its appearance and bring its face in the European Pro League. Any initial notes, Dan? I know you're quite
just so
very excited.
The massive change, and we've all been talking about it, is Camo going to top mid and Railgun going to bottom mid. And the reason they've done this is because by going top mid and getting top mid control, which is already powerful on the map, you were then rewarded with a very powerful weapon. Camo was just, it was just useless because everyone was going for it, you were getting naded, you were dying. Now that you swap it, it means if you grab that Camo top mid, you're not really going to stay there, so you're giving up that top mid control, and also with the Railgun bottom mid, you've got to then make your way up to get that top mid control. I love it. It's a fantastic switch, and I'm really happy 343 have done it.
That's the most important thing for me, because I was really getting annoyed because that thing can knacker you off the spawn. The amount of times you will come off the spawn, or used to do at least, and just get railgun through a window was, I mean, credit to people who know how to play. You would see them jumping out into the open. They go into the hover mode, they'd just be sat there and they'd just be picking you off in midair. They'd turn around, they'd do the ground pound straight back onto the platform. It's going to be an interesting thing.
And yeah, like Dan touched upon as well, I really like the fact that they removed the power weapon from the power position. It didn't make any sense that you had to go top middle, the most powerful position on the map, to get the most powerful weapon on the map. It didn't make any sense. I love the fact they've switched it up. And I think you touched it before the broadcast sims. If you want the camouflage, you're more likely going to want to dip down low with it to use it effectively. So it makes sense. You want the railgun, you want to be up top. And if you have the camo, you want to be down low. So let's just switch them up. It makes sense.
It's great because you can just watch people utilise the stabilisers. The amount of time I've seen people just jumping off and hanging around and stabilising around that top middle section. It's going to be good to see how this one plays out, especially now we're seeing it for the first time today.
They've removed SMGs as well. We saw a lot of players just getting that SMG and camping in the base. I know you touched on it. And storm rifles are also moved from the treehouse to the submarines, and I think 343 said that when you battle someone with a storm rifle now, they've gone out of their way to get that weapon, so they're a massive sweaty nerd.
We have to start this game off with Lunny. He outdueled Buck 20 9-0. That is huge. We have to start off this game with Lunny, and let's see if he can continue his performance in absolutely dominating Buck 20.
Alright then, here we go, throwing some grenades straight across the map, just nading out that bottom section as he will jump up and bags himself the camo to boot. Now he drops down, not entirely sure where the railgun has gone, but he's in a really good position, and he's not even really being challenged for this camo.
And this is something we never saw on Fathom before this update. You would never see camo come into play like this because you would always die. It would just get burnt out, so it just changes this map up up completely, and we'll see if Lunny can do anything with it, but eventually he is taken down, and actually the camo became pretty much useless.
One thing to note as well is how he died there, pre-nading. The amount of players that will pre-nade that corner because it's such a common jump. It's just like it's become second nature for people to kind of jump upon them corners. You put a nade there, you're expected to get a kill all the time. We see Jimbo constantly doing it time and time again. But we have Riot's BDR himself taking control of this top middle section. There's nobody who you want more of a dominant force. You need a strong Slayer up here to kind of kick some backside and take some nades. And this is exactly what he's doing. He's got about 3 or 4 kills now to boot, and at the end of the day, his position is paying off.
Yeah, and he's just like kind of the only one top mid, but his teammates are just running around the rest of the map and just supporting him, letting him know where his opposition are going to be pushing from, as we will see a flagpole, and we will see these dinosaurs spawning there over by the silo, which is as far away as possible, which is brilliant. It's where you want to be aiming to spawn them.
Finally, he does go down, but the flag's going to get returned. That's going to be, excuse me, he's not actually going to get returned. It's going to be Ramirez who'll get a touch on it. Flames will come round and sit on this one. There's nobody there to stop him. He's pre-nading the doorway if anyone wants to step out, and he's locked them back in the base. That is a really good return.
And this is the situation where Lunny is now. Usually you would have just picked up an SMG off that spawn and you would just wait there, but now, because the SMG isn't there, it forces you to make a decision. Do I push out to try and get some map control, to try and get a better weapon, or am I happy with the assault rifle?
Lunny versus Buck20 again. You saw Buck20's point of view. He's scared of Lunny. It's in his head.
Somebody's choking hard against Lunny, and we see that time and time again, and your face lights up whenever they go one-on-one. And Dan, you called it out about how important the removal of that SMG is. It's kind of taken away the ability just to be able to camp on the door.
And Camo will be coming up anytime soon, and I wonder who's going to be making their way at top mid. And I love that the Camo is top mid as well, because by having top mid control, you're rewarded, but not rewarded with something that is really crazy like a railgun. It means that you can get that Camo and then you can make a play to push towards the flag rather than just camp that top mid.
I'll tell you what I'm so happy about right now, how goddamn neck and neck and even these two teams are every single time. It's just trade after trade after trade.
And I said how being top mid would reward you with that camouflage. We saw Riot was holding down the top mid fort, and there is the camo in his hand as he does pick up the kill with the storm rifle.
So where he is now was super important. As the flag guy had moved out, he moved back into the gen. If he hadn't have moved then, if he would have followed the flag, they would have spawned in there and be able to just kind of beeline across the map. So great little play to kind of dip in that corner and stop everyone spawning. It's held them back. The flag's in the base, however, they're kind of getting pushed. Ramirez comes in hard and fast. 57 answers back, and that is actually going to be once again another flag return.
Yeah, it just seems like they know how to get across the map. They know how they want to stop this flag, and because you don't have that railgun top mid, we actually saw Speed had made his way with the railgun, but he got shut down immediately whilst he was on his way up there.
So, 2 more people, and I've just seen Harry smiling because once again it's this constant battle of Lunny and Buck20. Cristola, nice cheeky little throw though, will just crouch down and dip that over the edge. However, 2 players coming out one-on-one, manages to get the flag kill. Looking for someone to try and get the return though, it's in, and that's going to be 57 bagging it if no one touches this one. It's still there, it is finally. 1 cap on the board for 1 team.
Glad he did get that in because your voice was going to go off the scales then. Thank you very much, 57. They are going to go 1-0 up. They are 2 caps away from winning this series, and I don't care if 57 and 20 are getting shut, well 20 especially is getting shut down by Lunny, because at the moment the Dinosaurs are putting on a real show for us, and I love this control they have on a map now where it's just been flipped on its head really.
Buck20 just grabbing a double finally on the kill feed. Lunny just shut him down again. It's the constant battle. Buck57 will batter that straight into his chest and pick it up. Does reverse back round to... Oh, lovely. Don't shoot, just go for the beatdown instead. I like that. Don't give away position. Don't waste any bullets. Just beat the guy down in 1. Crouch down again. Riot's don't know where he is. Finally, he's seen him. Whips out the AR. Riot's still not seeing him, though. Goes for another beatdown, but unfortunately sends him down with a death grenade.
And that says a lot about 57 in his playstyle. A very interesting approach. He said, okay, I've got the camo. I don't want to make a play to push for the flag. Instead, I'm just going to keep contesting top mid. I know how important it is to keep control of top mid, as we see finally. I see your hand, Harry. Buck20 is going to take down Lunny.
So happy. Hopefully the Twitch chat has been keeping an eye on the kill feed. Buck20 finally getting a kill on Lunny, so he's on the board.
Lunny, please. Flames at the moment, just kind of darting some bullets towards Riot's face. He does go down. He's got support from behind. Lunny straight off the spawn, though, will drill into the back of Flames' head. Flames goes down. Grenade goes in, looking for Ramirez, who's hiding in the corner. Buck20, though, only got 1 more bullet in the railgun. Needs to make this one count. Try and lock down. This will be a huge kill if he gets it. Thrust back as well to take control of top mid. Looks across at Ramirez. 2 more players in there. Half shield. This is a huge play now because he can move in. However, I didn't realise someone actually got the gen spawn in the corner there, so the 2 players managed to take him back as he worked his way in there. But if that guy would have been on his own, that would have been a massive, massive kill.
Yeah, how often does that happen when you push into the base and you see 2 players spawn and you just get shut down immediately? One thing I want to note on is I've seen an extreme lack of Storm Rifle ever since it's been moved to that submarine spot, and I think that's because to get it, you have to put yourself in a pretty vulnerable situation when really you want to be pushing that treehouse and you want to be getting to top mid, and that's exactly why 343 moved it. Credit to them, they have really improved, and I'm really happy with their changes.
Thank you, Based Quinn, as we see Cristola going for that nerdy jump, which we've seen time and time again, where it can bluster the flag straight across the map. It's out in the open. Once running it into the treehouse, he's going to get himself here on the light rifle, just put it in the corner to get himself a nice little bit of cover. This is definitely the best place you want to be, especially with how much. But actually, I think that was, yeah, it was indeed. Buck 57 will go down with the Flagnum.
Cristola's the last guy alive right now with the flag. He needs to wait for his spawners. He's doing his best to bide some time. But I'm surprised the Realest 10s aren't pushing a little bit more aggressively. We finally see there on the player outlines, Ramirez is trying to push the low door. But yeah, 3 down momentarily there for the Dinosaurs. Very surprised Realest 10s didn't try and capitalise there. I think they're more happy with the map control now.
And I think this is the kind of position you want to take with the flag. A very defensive position, especially when you're on the back foot. When your team does get a little bit of control, that's when you can be a little bit flamboyant with your flag position, try and help with that pistol that's going to be in your right hand.
But unfortunately, several people are advancing in. No other than Lunny again with the railgun, and there's the return. 1 goes on the board. It's all tied up now, 1-1.
Yeah, Realest Tins just showing that they are still alive in this series and they're not going to give up easily against this Dinosaur squad. As we now see the Realest Tins, I'm just going to call them the Tins for short. They are controlling this top mid. I think Camo will be up. No, Camo will be up in another minute, so at the moment that's not going to make much of a difference in this game. But this top mid control, we're seeing less of it, I guess, because people aren't. You don't need it as much with the railgun not being there, but it's definitely a power position still.
I love that. Speed just saw the bullets coming from his left. He was like, nope, I'm off. I'm out of here, boys. Flag goes in. That needs a quick touch. That is a super, super quick cap. The pressure now reversed back onto the hands of the Dinosaurs.
You often just see this one player who is going to sit top mid, and it just allows them to get so much coverage, such a view. They are like the eagle for their team. They can see where they're spawning. They can put shots across, as we are now going to see the 3rd flag being moved so quickly. And this is just reminiscent of that game 1, just the quick counter caps, bang, bang. The Realest Tins really know how to move these flags.
And through that 3rd person mode, at least we could see where people were. We got 1 person running out. Cristola's going to try and get the recub. He doesn't land. 2 more people are pushing forward. But I'll tell you what, they've got quite a lot of distance between them and the flag. Unfortunately, that were a bit of a miss pick up there from Riot, so he doesn't grab it. 1 great grenade from Lunny, and all of a sudden we're 4 down. This could be a great return from Cristola. Not only that, but possibly a counter cap.
Yeah, sometimes this happens when you do get that flag so close. You get so desperate, you use all of your resources to try and get it back at your base, especially when you're so close to winning that the other team can just get that one important kill and get a counter cap. And this looks like map control is in favor of Dinosaurs right now, and Camouflage should be coming up relatively soon.
Only 3:30 on the clock. Whichever team comes out in top, this is going to be a damn hard-fought win. Moving into the BR section now. Cristola will grab himself the BR, give him a great weapon to kind of ping people across the map. All of a sudden, it's all tied up 2-2. Who's going to be coming out on top of this one? It's a very close game. We said time and time again how close these 2 teams are. Right now, the scoreline proves that.
One thing I will say at the moment, though, the momentum is definitely in favour of the Dinosaurs. I keep seeing in the kill feed, they're slaying in waves of 2. They're constantly getting either double kills or they're just slaying in waves of 2. Loving this aggression here from the Dinosaurs. And again, another kill. They're opening up the kills. They're being the first team to engage. Speed finally replies, but I'm really loving the aggression, the aggressive slaying here out of the Dinosaurs.
And I think it will be whichever team takes the initiative here, whichever team gets aggressive, because this happens on Fathom. Sometimes if you do get aggressive, you do pull a flag, you can be punished for it. So some teams are going to be reluctant to do so. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see a standoff at 2-2, which we often see in Fathom, and perhaps that camouflage, that railgun will really make a big impact going into the end of this game.
57 throwing the flag out into the middle. He's going to try and get his shields back. If he does, I'll be super impressed, which he does indeed. He then turns around to give... That's going to be actually Riots to the face as well.
Huge.
The flag goes in. What a massive goddamn play from 57 at the end, Harry.
57 just won on that game.
Straight... what? That was incredible. That was truly incredible.
Unbelievable movement. How he managed to stay alive at the end of that game. What an absolute godlike play from 57. 2 captures from him, 18 kills, 21 from 20. And on the other side, you've got to look at Lani, 22 kills. Again, very impressive performance from him this series, but unfortunately, Ramirez, 7 kills, my friend.
It's not a very lucky number today.
We see it time and time again in big games. Ramirez, single-digit kills.
To be fair, it's fine if you win the game. If they had won that 3-2, I would have said fine. And Ramirez is doing what he needs to be doing. He's pushing the flag. He's suiciding. But when you lose, it just feels even worse. And your teammates, they're kind of going to be looking like, Ramirez just got 7 kills.
Single-digit kills, guys. We all had double-digit kills, guys.
And Ramirez will feel that pressure, and they'll want to come back fighting. But the Dinosaurs, they're going to win this series 3-1.
Congratulations to them. They will be our third team tonight to advance with a win. Incredible stuff from them. A close fought game. But I'd just like to, for a second, just kind of go back and break down at the end, Harry. We were saying that play from 57. I mean, we don't have it on the replay, but he has the flag. He's no shield. Riot's is chasing him. He goes for the ground pound initially. Riot steps back. He then thrusts back on the platform to stay alive.
Yep.
He then drops down to the silo with no shields. Run us through it from there.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. He was no shields. He still moved the flag so far into his own courtyard and then lived. So Riot's had to not only deal with 57 first, he then had to help his teammates kill the players trying to touch the flag, because there was 3 of the Dinosaurs players. There was Christola and I think Buck20, or it might have been Flames actually, diving at that flag. 57 was clearly screaming, "Help guys, I'm still alive, I'm still alive!" And Christola and Flames answered the call, took down Riots, and the rest is history. Godlike play from 57. I can't applaud that play enough. It's just fantastic.
Just staying alive like that and being a nuisance. We've said it time and time again. Just throw the flag out. Fair enough, you've got no shields, but while you're still alive, it's the mental play of the player chasing you. I need to kill him. Get your shields back, then have another crack at him. Fair enough, you didn't kill him, but still there are enough for your teammates to come back, grab the flag, swoop it in, and they will be your victors. So, 3 teams tonight, all putting a win on the board. Truly incredible stuff. I also now believe we are live with an interview with Mr. Jim Bossity. Oh, well, I don't have an answer yet, so we'll be getting that in just a second. There is an interview coming up with Mr. Jimbo, and we'll talk through tonight's antics. But I've got to say, guys, incredible stuff. Any words so far?
I'm just still astounded by the play from 57. Incredible. He won them that game and essentially won them that series, because if they don't score that flag, then if Realest teams do get that recover, they then have the map control. They then can run a flag of their own and potentially capture the flag. So, fantastic job from 57. He practically won them the series.
And I'm glad to see the Dinosaurs getting a win with flag. We saw in the LCQ they struggled with the flag game.
We won't talk about that.
We cringe. We remember it in game 1. They threw away a lead, and I thought this was going to be a thing we were going to be getting used to. Just Dinosaurs not being able to close out those flag games, but 57, man of the moment. Congratulations.
Man of the match as well for me, man of the series, because you saw in game number 1, he really didn't have a great game. They lost it. And then the next 3 games, he had a really great performance. The next 3 games, he really stood out. So great job from 57. Great to see him back on his great form that we saw in the UK qualification campaign for the Halo WC. So great to see 57 firing again.
This is kind of this only puts more further proof on what we said before. When 57 steps up, the whole team steps up. It's a joint effort. It's kind of like Ramirez, Preferius. Unfortunately, if he does negative, the whole team kind of brings it down. So, but I am told we do have an interview live. Mr. Jim Bossity, are you there?
Hello.
How are you doing, homie? How's things? All right, then let's have a... We've got to do this, man. Let's have a talk about tonight's game. Then some unfortunate 3-0 loss for the X-Men.
Worst games.
Worst game types. I mean, to be fair to you, you did call before and says these game types favour the hands of online warriors. Kind of talk us through exactly, in your words, kind of what you think went wrong, apart from just the fact that you lost. Where are the improvements that need to come on those maps?
We never turn up anyway, so I don't know. It's small stuff that we were talking about, like just online warriors are one step ahead of us on. It's not. I don't know. The first 2 maps we knew from the start, like Stasis and Truth, we're just like we're not that good on yet, and Online Warrior's been playing that, since the second it's come out, and they've just always been ahead of us on that. I guess we're catching up on those 2 maps, but yeah, it was kind of brutal.
Jim, that's fair enough. Just want to ask, a lot of people saying the Bucks got the better of the trade at the moment. Well, how do you say about that? What are your feelings on that at the moment? Obviously, you guys split from Epsilon, you guys and the Bucks and yourself, and Snipe Drone splitting from Epsilon, and people are saying at the moment, hey, the Bucks maybe they weren't the problem.
That's what makes me laugh, is I guarantee if we were still on the Epsilon team, that team, the Online Warriors, would still beat us. It's just like playing against that old Dignitas squad. They'd still beat us online. Like, we got 9-0'd back on Epsilon, we've been 3-0'd today. And, I tweeted out earlier, just see what happens online, I guess. Because it's just the exact same. You just can't shoot them online. I don't know. I do have to give Online Warriors so much respect. These guys do grind and they do deserve their win tonight. But it's just going to be it's just repeating history basically.
That was pretty much the question I was going to ask. I was going to say, do you think that their name kind of stands for their online warriors, and will you take them on LAN? But you've answered that for me. How will you respond to that 3-0 loss? Are you guys going to go back and watch those games? Are you just going to put them aside and move on? I mean, how do you guys respond as a team to that?
We've sort of already, like, Perry, 2Foxy's watched over the games, and we just get more annoyed watching it, just like seeing stuff not like register. I don't want to keep on going back to it, but we do see that sort of stuff when we're going back over it. But we're trying to. I think I'm going to avoid watching over because I'm just going to end up getting mad. Like, we just didn't play the way that we usually do. Like, we've been scrimming last night, and we just like clicked so well last night, and we just didn't click today. So I think we just got to like just forget about that game and just go on through the league.
Just a quick question before you go, Jim. Would you be more open now to play the Warriors before the next week?
Open to
scrims. Because I know
Jim.
Come on.
Really, but we do avoid just doing it. I don't know. It's just like we avoided scrimming them before this one because we just didn't want to play them before the Pro League. We wanted to leave it all down to the day. Obviously, that kind of backfired on us, but we do need to play them, I guess. I mean, you got to be aware of every. It's weird because European teams play so differently. Like right now, it's like we played Realest Tins last night, and they played so like unpredictable. Like they would always be on the other side of the map. It was really weird. We played Infused and they were playing so passive. We played Dinosaurs and they were like full on in our face. But then I think Online Warriors do the same thing as Dinosaurs and they're just always in our face. But they were just better at it. I don't know. We do need to play them. We can't. We have to be prepared for every single situation, I guess.
And do you think that's because we've got this new update and these new settings, and teams are still learning about what to do and how to push accordingly, how to set up accordingly, because of these like massive changes really on some of the maps?
So majority of the maps haven't changed too much. I think Stasis is completely new, so people are still learning that one. Like we're still learning, we're still trying to go over callouts and stuff like that. And Stasis seems very weird on Red Spawn compared to Blue Spawn. There's different stuff we could go into on that one. I feel like some changes may need to be made on that one, just 1 points. But Truth is played very differently. Like from playing with Epsilon, we played a way where we'd play with sitting on the window with the BR, and obviously you can't do that anymore. So those sort of changes have kind of affected us. But then like stuff like the rig's been out for a while, so that's not changed. That's nothing different. But I do want to play on other game types. Like I said before to Harry, it's like these game types. Like the first 3 maps we played versus these guys we're not too strong on. But the maps have changed, but not too much. I don't feel like that's the reason why we're losing.
All right then, Jim. We're just gonna about let you go now, but first of all, I want to say congratulations on what you did back at the Halo World Championship. Looking forward to seeing what you do more going forward to the Halo Pro League. Congratulations on what you've been doing with streaming. It's certainly a big thing for European
Halo. I want my
Halo,
mod back, by the way. I want my mod back. Don't shake your head.
Seeing 80 subs on there the other day, dude. The grind's been real, and congratulations.
It's going to be 79 soon, by the way. Just letting you know. Do not renew Wonderboy Halo.
It's looking good, man. So well done. Good luck in the rest of the Pro League, and we have a good night, man. Thank you very much for joining us.
You guys. Thanks.
I just want to cuddle him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. There, he really is a true European through and through. He's an ambassador for the whole of not only Halo Esports, but definitely Europe. But that's pretty much it, guys. We're going to wrap up tonight. Thank you all for joining us. I'll be tweeting out some information on how you can watch tomorrow. Of course, we will not be streaming, but the players more than likely will be. We will be catching you same time next Thursday. From myself, from Gaskin, from Mr. Wonderboy at the end there, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll see you all in the arena next week.